thinking the weather is going to be bad. Yeah, 8 o'clock. At the rate we're going, we should have this field done and the clamp compacted and covered before the rain comes, so that's okay. I'm not sure he's going to make it to the end of this row. We are doing quite nicely here. Okay. And he is full. Yay. So, as promised. Oh, that's tiny. Another one of those. Nice. I already have one. T7000, 292 horsepower. I don't need anything tractor-like at the moment. Fit 500, I do like that. Teleskid, like that too. So these are the tippers that you can jack up the back end. Very useful. I think that's as far as we got last week. So we now have a wheeled Steiger, one of those, so hook lift, another tipper. Again, not sure if that has the boost up the back. It's a little bit undersized for us. A thing, rock picker. I don't have rocks turned on. A horse trailer for a semi-truck and a Series 7 Landini. 190 to 225. It's a little on the small side. If I was going to replace a tractor that I already have, small one of those could possibly replace the Renault at some stage. Of course, the kids have every single door in the house unlocked. And they're fighting. Because why not? They're now in the basement shouting at each other. Let's put this back to the yard. I should also fetch the Renault in. Maybe we'll do a shuttle out and back. Again, we won't. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I don't need to mulch the corners, and the reason for that is because the field won't gain anything from stuff that hasn't been harvested, and because we're not harvesting the corners, it's not really going to. That was a little bit far out of the turn area. Okay. I'm going to plant that there. We'll start it emptying. I'm going to jump out and we'll go get the 800. There we go. So this is full. 1600 litres. That's not too bad, I guess. And we're still set for planting grass. So these last two fields, going to stick grass in them. And the roller we can take back to the yard for now. But yeah, I think on the other fields I did try and roll the corners that weren't harvested and really nothing came of it. So OCD Farmer isn't going to be as OCD as he normally is, and we'll just go through the motions, do some of the things, unload the seed tank, because why the heck not? Okay, that's the button I should have pressed. So, no course, 5.8, blah de blah, clockwise, center first, generate, and back. And we will drive this across the field, because why not? Yeah, I guess it's the revised textures on this map that Cavalier Roy. I'm not against them. They actually look quite good. But crop destruction is more of a thing with these. So no, first waypoint and go. So, planting grass here. And off you go. And we get a different texture for this, so easier to see where it's been and not been. Now let's bring back you. And I can probably clear the course, close that. This does not need to call in at the yard. Now, gonna have to give myself manoeuvring room. I did think this is the easy way to get round to that field and just line up to drive straight in when it's done. The problem going this way round is I can't drive straight in with the grain cart, so I have to manoeuvre using these lanes, and if I park too close to the field entrance I'll get in the way. Oh yes, ha 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 ha, Cavalier Roy has been paying attention. Yes, there is I do know about that. I'm not going to cut down all of the hedges, but I think I am going to edit some of them, just because some of them are just awkward for the way I have this set up. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying the way I've chosen to do this. I need, yeah. I could use different entrances to the vehicle, to the fields, but that's not an issue because, quite frankly, chainsaw and various mods, I can chop a hedge stick down and make it go away. So that corner there, I might cut something off. This entrance, yeah, definitely. I think the first field we did today, you can't see the number of it. I would also consider cutting an opening closer to the farm on a better angle. And I'm not averse to using the treks. There was an equivalent back in Farm Sim 19 which I made major use of. Because it was just really handy for clearing trees like these out of the way, which overhang. At least I'll give you that much. At least your trees don't overhang the fields. It does make it difficult to forage a field because the trees overhang where your grain cart's going to run, or the escape route for the grain cart. But for the most part, come on, why aren't you starting? Because why aren't you starting? Okay, that was weird. For some reason the engine wasn't running, but the worker hadn't gone home. I would tend to go with, if I was playing an American map, I would probably remove all the hedges. But for an English map, it doesn't feel right, so I wouldn't. Okay. So that bit's done. Let's turn it off so we can actually maneuver. And I can get back here and nearest waypoint, go. Close the window. Oh, where is the... Now there's one thing I missed from Farm Sim 1917. I think there is something akin to it now, which was a sort of vehicle group mod, which allowed you to group your vehicles into a common group and then tab just between the vehicles in a group. Shift tab would shift the group, so you could put all your harvesters in one, or all your tractors in another one, or all your big tractors in one, and all your small tractors in another one. So if I wanted to do crop spraying, I could select the small tractor group and then tab through all of my small tractors to find one that was available and take that one out. Lawfolds I got very busy on. I was running multiple workers. Yeah, some people. I think some map makers do make it more difficult to play how, or to not play how they don't want you to play a map. So they set up their map to do certain things, and then don't try and do other things because you're not really set up to do it in an ideal world. Generally, here, all of the restrictions I have on the playstyle for this playthrough are self-imposed, not map-imposed. I think even the crop calendar, we can plant sugarcane and we can plant cotton. Not exactly realistic, but did I finish looking at these? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, the Landini. Okay, remember Landini when we come back. But yes, it's not a it's not too restrictive, and as I said, any restrictions is the way I want to restrict myself. Obviously, in some cases, I'm playing with seasons and the crop calendar for this map does have various restrictions, but in some ways not so much. So yeah, and then again, if if a map has restrictions you don't like, don't play that map. Pick a different one. There's lots out there. now. But as I was saying earlier, I do like to feel that I'm in a land that is representative of where the map maker suggests that we are. So we're suggested to be in Scotland, and there's an awful lot of spruce trees or conifers out there which just make it feel it's the lowlands, I think. Yeah, there are mountains in the distance, but it's not like some maps which just sort of, yeah, you're in Germany. I am. Is there any clues? Okay, that's another 52,000 litres. I really don't know how we're doing again. Got those two corners. We want to get the corner nearest the farm. Maybe the entrance. I don't know if we'll get that bit, or whether I'll have driven through it by the time we get over there. Yes, and I mean, in general, I think I'm now settled on my forage fields, and I am planting as soon as this field has been harvested. We'll be in there with the grass planting team and planting grass as a cover crop for winter, and we can cut the grass in November and in spring, just in time for the maize planting season. So I can get 3 cuts of grass, or I can get 2 cuts of grass and a cut of maize.
Hi.
Hi. And since maize is way more abundant in its yield, this beats out the pure grass forage plan. But I do still want these 4 grass fields. And then the other field just across the way over there is also a grass field. And I kind of left it as that. And eventually, when I've got enough money and no debt, I do plan to get a cowshed and grow cows. At which point, I'm going to need the grass silage fields. I'm going to need the maize silage fields. But we just bought over, what is it? It's August now. So over the late spring, early summer of this year.
Daddy.
Hi.
Do you know where Kate and Bailey
Nope,
is?
I don't know. Probably up a tree.
Because they were coming in and I can't find them.
I haven't heard them come upstairs, so they might be hiding in the basement.
Okay.
So yeah, so the plan would be, now that we have a proper harvester, I can now do proper arable farming. And so part of what we're doing now is, come on, select, is branching out a little bit more into barley, wheat, and that sort of thing. But I'm still going to keep these core fields for forage because of the intent of having cows. Again, because I like cows. Cows are awesome. In fact, the small girl child who comes to visit at the weekend, her favourite animal when she was small was a cow. She'd see cows and go, "Yay, cows!" I like cows because they're tasty. And that said, we just bought ourselves a quarter cow, which is now in the freezer in the basement. It's not cheap to buy a cow. I think with the butchering it's about $700 for a quarter cow. But that's all the things. So I don't even know how many pounds of cow it was. But you're paying, random guess, you're paying $4 for a pound of hamburger meat. You're also paying $4 for 16-ounce New York strip steak. So if you like your steaks and your roasts, or at least some steaks and roasts, it's actually worthwhile buying a quarter of a cow. And if you know the farmer, you know what went into the cow. If you buy a cow from your local grocery store, who knows what went into it. I guess the kids were in the basement. I didn't think they'd come upstairs. Yeah, maybe, I'm gonna guess, okay, it's year 3. For the course of year 4, I will probably add some of the discounted arable fields as I notice them and have the money for them. We'll flesh out the yard. I'll probably demolish the workshop I have and get a couple of smaller sheds to store the motorised equipment in and a workshop.
I'm going to shut the door all the way.
We're going to live in my room until we get the tent in my room.
And then once all of the once we set up the yard, I think year 5 we may start looking at building a cow shed and introducing cows to the mix.
I was looking for you.
Okay, this isn't going to take long to fill up the trailer again. Okay, that's just mean. Yeah, our Fosters weren't really into Peppa Pig. They've been more into Baby Shark and SpongeBob.
When you're carrying?
Which can be annoying. But then, yeah.
You have to give her a present though, too.
What I can't remember from my childhood is were my childhood cartoons as annoying as the modern day ones appear to be?
Yeah, but sometimes I do also.
And reversing without looking where I'm going. Awesome stuff. I am really liking this Zerion 3000. And the funny thing with this game so far is whenever I've said, oh, I really fancy having A on the farm, usually within 2 episodes it appears as a sales item on the store sales. So last episode actually it's probably a couple of episodes ago, we ended up getting the biggest ideal harvester, base game harvester. Not one I really wanted. The header we have for it is way undersized, but it's a folding draper, so I can actually maneuver in and out of the fields. So yeah, it's let's try and get this fairly straight. I think this isn't looking too bad. How much have we got in here now?
It looks like a dead dinosaur.
We are nearly up to 1 million litres. One more load and we're at 1 million litres. Oh, that was a little bit too high. Might need to get the Merlot out to shovel some of that around.
Trying to make it cool it so it's flat.
I think I went back and watched a couple of because we picked up what was it, BritBox streaming service, which contains some old BBC and ITV programs, and I did go back and watch a couple of early episodes of some British childhood cartoons, and they are a little bit painful to watch. But more because, you know, technology and stuff has moved on, as opposed to this is a really bad show. Okay, how are we doing here? We are almost halfway. We got 600,000. We're almost at 1 million. Could be an interesting total yield here. Oh, come on. Let's pay attention to things for the moment. How is the time doing? It's coming up to 4 p.m. Oh. Okay, we're about halfway across this field. However, we've done 3 headlands, so we're more than halfway. So we might end up with about 1.1